Hello, it's Chloe here from Border River Flowers. Haven't been on for a while. Had a lot going on. Now's meant to be the quiet time of the year, but in reality it is just as busy, just a different type of busy. You can't really, still getting lots done, but you can't really see it like you can in through the spring, summer, autumn months. So we've still been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Got half the dripper line pulled up, rolled it back up from the sunflowers, which is a huge task. Got all dahlia bulbs, tubers out of the ground, and a few more. I think since the last video I did, we've got a couple more rows put in the top section here, and done frost cover, so we had to make the hoops for those. So we've done that, and just lots of other fiddly things. Spent a couple of weeks doing sheep work, so I was away from the garden for a couple of weeks. And then when I got back, there was the freesias and the anemones were kind of taken over by weeds, so I finished weeding those on Sunday, and today I am going to plant out some bits and pieces that I've had up at the house that took a while to get roots. Some delphinium that we'll see what they come to, but I don't expect too much from them. But I'm going to put them in the garden and see what I get from them. Ones I sowed from seed myself, and they were out not under enough light for too long, and they got all leggy. But the leggy leaves died back when I put them out into the light, and then they seem to be sending up new shoots. So I'm still hopeful I might be able to get something from them. And then, so we're planting those out. I've got some achillea there, which should have been planted out a while ago, but I hadn't done that. And I've got some peonies to plant. Now I haven't got the section I would like them to go into down here ready yet, so I'm just going to put them into pots for this season. I have not grown peonies before, but I'm going to put them into pots and see how we go with that. I've only got like 5 or 6 just to try them. I didn't want to invest a whole lot into them when I didn't know how they would go for me here. So if they go well, I'll add more next season, probably just add a few more each season. And then what else have I got? Just got a few tags and labels and stuff to put in so I don't forget what's where. And what else? There was something else on the list. Oh, I've got larkspur seeds that I am going to direct seed, and we'll see how we go. That's a trial as well. I have no idea how we're going to go with that, but hopefully that is successful. And then I'm hoping to we'll see what else we get to. We'll try and achieve those things first, and then see what else we get to. But I'll show you how everything's growing first up, and then we'll get on to the other tasks. Okay, so this here is the snapdragons. This is the Costa 3-4 white. These are the ones that got taken out by the hail in autumn. They'd only been in the ground for not very long, but they seem to be doing okay. The ones that have survived, like most of them, there's a few smaller ones still. I've got to do a bit of weeding, like this here, that's just weeds, all this shorter stuff. So I need to do a bit of weeding on the rest of it as well. So that's there all the way to here. And then this one's the one that they took the most out. I think these ones are starting to try and send up flower buds, which I'm not keen on. I hope they don't. This is Maryland, one to the shell pink, and the hail took out most of them. They just didn't seem to be as resilient to anything really. Like you can see the winter, the curl on the leaf from the cool weather. We've had some really severe frosts, but they're warmer than average days, so it's been really weird. So this is them here. This is quite a nice patch here. But we had a couple of warm weeks, and these did a lot of growing. I think that's why I think that's a flower. Buds on a few of them, which I prefer if they didn't to do that, but nothing I can do about it. And this is the Maryland 1-2 red, and it's doing the same thing, see? But these have been really healthy. I've taken cuttings off them when I pinched them, and I've got the cuttings growing at the house, and they're quite rooted up. I could plant them out. I got part of this netted, but I need to do the rest of it. This here is more of the red one, and I'll just, the cuttings that I took, I will just, this is the weeding I did out of the, there's just plenty of weeds. I had a pretty good crop of rye, so the cuttings that I took that are up at the house in trays, I will just plant into the gappy spots down here. I think I'm going to plant the Achillea that I've got, I'll plant here because there's a fairly bare patch here. I'll just plant it down as far as I need to, and then there's still plenty of space to fill in with the cuttings. This is the beetroot, so all the way from here all the way up to there. So this here, this little bit of greener one is a different variety, and I planted it a few weeks after this one here. Might have been even a month after. But for the most part they are healthy and growing really well. I got pretty much, I think I might have only had like 2 gaps now. I'm a little bit concerned that the leaves are growing better than what the roots are. I pulled one out the other day. Where was that other one I just saw there? I pulled one out the other day, and it had a decent root base that they need watering too. But see, for the weeds are, it's keeping the weeds at bay, anything that grows fast. But see, this is rye here, and that's what was taken over the freesia, because the freesias are just really, they're not doing that well. I don't know that I'll grow them again, but yeah, so it was just taken over. Anything that grows slower and doesn't fill in as quick, the weeds take a bit of advantage of that. So this one is Ruby Queen, and I think that one down there, the darker one, is Bull's Blood. This is a silver beet. So I think this is just the Ford Hook Giant, I think. I don't think I wrote on it. I stuck tag in here so I knew where they started, but I hadn't written on it. So I think that's the Ford Hook Giant, and this one here's the Rainbow Chards. They're all different colours. They're not growing as evenly and as nice as these ones, and there's quite a few more gaps in here, but I'll probably be able to pick off these, and these are, I'm hoping to be able to sell a bit of this down at the roadside stand. This is the ranunculus, so all the way down where the pink tags, bunch of pink tags down here, so they go all the way to there. That's just the Florentine mixed colour one. There was 500 of them, so I don't expect anything, their quantity, but I don't expect anything like too significant. There's a few weeds, but it's like pretty good, not too bad. I do need to get in here, and the ranunculus and the anemones are so hard to weed. So we've got, here are our Italian ones, so they're like bigger. So I've got F1 and F1 red and F1 yellow here. There's 10 of those. Here we have F1 burgundy. There are 15 of those. But yeah, you can see the difference in the size compared to the Florentine ones. This one is white. There's meant to be 15 of them, and I didn't have... I think there's one coming up there, but very slow. Like, I didn't have good... There's a bare hole, a bare hole, bare hole. Quite a few that didn't come up, and they were the most important ones. That's why I got these Italian ones for flowers for my brother's wedding, but I don't think they're going to be flowering anyway, because that's a bit less than a month away now. So this one's Italian in orange, and this one here is the one that's done the best, the pastel mix, Italian pastel mix. Look at these. I'm expecting to see buds on these. What's that? Let me have a look. Oh, look, that's two stems grown up together. They've joined at the top. Can't get them apart. Thought that might have been a flower head then. Oh, that one's done the same, look. Wonder what causes that. Interesting. But anyway, they're heaps thicker. Heaps bigger. Okay, it's going to be a bit difficult looking under the... These are our frost cloth. So this is the freesias here. So they are far from great. Actually, the ones with the biggest weeds, amongst the biggest weeds, look the best. Because they're getting a bit more protection. They liked the extra protection. Now I have anemone flowers. Let's see under here. You have a pink one. This is what colour. So the anemones, I'd lost quite a few. There's another pink one down there. This is what colour they're meant to be. This is the decaying pink one. But one, I just got to get this underneath this one. First one to open was that colour. But yeah, I lost quite a few. I planted them into the end of one of the lowest beds, and it's the wettest down this end. It was just what I had spare at the time, but I wish I had have not done that. I've also got quite a lot planted up in the in crates at the house. So this is, if this is the double or the single feverfew, which shouldn't need to be covered normally, but I planted them really late. Like, we were already well and truly into frosts when I planted them. I wonder what's wrong with that one. There's something digging in there. But yeah, I need to take this off and just come through and give them a bit of a weed as well. I think this whole section of this is that feverfew. Yeah, yep. So that's all that feverfew. So these were tiny when I put them in. They were like that or smaller. So they've grown quite a bit and bushed up already. This is the Veronica, which isn't dying, but it's not growing. It has done practically nothing since I put it in, which is fine. Didn't expect it to do too much in winter. And like, it's not covered, so they've got the pink, half of it's pink and half is white. Oh, that's okay. Don't need that, sweetheart. Don't need it yet. So yeah, that's all the way up to there. The end of this bed is empty, and that's where, like, there's not much space, just a bit of space in here that I'm going to put the handful of delphinium in. Where does this start? Down here. My tag's on this side. This is a real nightmare getting in underneath here. So this is the elegance. Oh no. So it's the white one. Oh, talking to myself now. This is ranunculus spring viola. Planted from. They were plants that I got from Bull. And when I planted them, I'd had them for a little while, and they were still really not that rooted up, so they've kind of struggled. I think I'll lose a few of these. They go down. Where do they go to? Halfway down there, about there, I think. Get out from underneath that. So this is how we made our. We just put steel from Bunnings, cut it down shorter, and then we got the 1 inch. We started with the 1 inch here, and I had to get the clips, which are expensive. They're like $1 each. But this next one, I got some of the 3/4 inch pipe, and we've done it with that. So it'll be interesting to see the difference. This is not meant to be off here. This blew off yesterday because it got quite windy. See how much better these ones are. They had way better roots. So that's all the viola. It's like a deep. I don't know why it's called viola, because it's got this deep, purpley, pinky, burgundy sort of colour. And this one is spring, elegant spring yellow, and it's the white one. So I got these. I got these with big hopes that they would be flowering for my brother's wedding, but they're going to be nowhere near. Hey, yeah, it's very high. We don't need it that high. We're not that tall. So they go here. So down here need to weeded. Although I'm just going to pop this down, sweetie. Hop up. There. And down here we've got the other variety of feverfew. I can't remember which one I planted where. If I can find the tag. So this one's doing heaps better than the other one, actually. It's growing heaps faster. It's filling in really beautiful. Yeah, I'm just really looking forward. This is the first time I've grown the feverfew. And I'm really looking forward to growing this one. So this bed here that we just put the hoops on it.
Yeah.
And you're a goose.
Yeah,
yeah, you thought I was talking to you. Hoping to get some delphinium, possibly
in it.
I was thinking about up one end. I was going to plant the few larkspur seeds potentially, if I don't change my mind between now and when I'm doing it. And delphinium, a couple of trays of delphinium if I can. I see what's on the ball list this week. I would like to be putting them in the ground next week. It'd be the end of next week that I would receive them if I ordered this week. And
excuse me, Mom.
so yeah, I'll be delphinium, and we'll see what else. Maybe some straw flower. These are the sad delphinium. Like, they don't look like much on top of the ground, but even like the smallest ones. Let's see. Like I can still pretty well. Oh, they're sitting on the so they're still like quite rooted. Got plenty of root there, so I'm hoping that'll help them. A couple in here. Then this is the Achillea. I had 4 trays of this that I get a head start on, so I had it for overwintering, and we went away and it didn't get watered. Got missed on the watering when I had someone watering them for me, and these got missed, so this is all I got left. I'm probably lucky I saved that many of them, but I'm going to put this under the end where the frost cloth is. I think there should be enough room there for them, and then I'll put these down in the end of where the snapdragons are. I decided to plant the Achillea into the spare gaps where the anemone and just went into the starter where the freesias are, because once these are finished, I'll be pulling the bulbs up, and then I'll just fill this row with Achillea. So just pop those in, and then put the delphinium up the other end up there, and now we'll go and water them in. The other thing I want to say too is I won't be planting anemone into weed mat again. See, this here went up. This has gone off topic already, but that there's a weed, not that. That there's a weed. That there's the anemone, and that's a weed. And I just came through and weeded all these the other day, but gosh, they're hard to see the difference. It's just a tiny bit of a finer leaf. Anyway, because they're sending a lot of their flower heads and leaves through and into the next door neighbour's hole. So that flower there is from here. And I've had it with quite a few of them. Well, not that I've had a lot of flowers, but when I was weeding the other day, I was seeing buds that were opening up underneath. See, this is where I planted the delphinium. I wish they all looked more like that one, but they're quite tiny. We'll see what they do. I just picked those anemone so that they not putting energy into these to send up more flowers. First bunch for the season.
Why are you holding your... Why are you taking a picture of it? Oh, back off, Jed!
We have this little lamb. That's our first job in the morning. Feed the baby lamb. He's only a couple days old. We have him in the office in a box at night time.
And we
So
put him out in the cage in the morning.
we put him out in his little cage
In the morning.
where he can curl up in the sun in the morning. Hop off there, matey. Oh, that was a bit loud. Okay, now I'm going to show you my raised beds. I'm going to fertilise these shortly, but I've got to go, and it's looking like a day where I won't get to do much garden. I'll end up fiddling around with animals most of the day. I've got some cows to move around. And so these are ranunculus. These are just some corms that I picked up from Bunnings when I was desperate to see if I could get white ranunculus by the middle of August. These are my hellebores, which I don't think they like the amount of sun they're getting here. Like, some of them have got new shoots coming back, but I think I might move them into a shady. I haven't got many shady spots, so put them there for the time being. Here I've got some more anemone, which are only just coming up, and daffodils. The rest of that one is daffodils. Here I have half of this is garlic, and then the other half is spring onions. And these are my daughter's gardens apparently. This what there. There's this one here, and one up here has calendula. This one here has a couple of calendula and a flat leaf parsley and a curly leaf. And look, this one's got a flower coming on it, Annabeth.
Yeah, is that one mine?
Flower, yeah. What did we go past this here? This was just... Okay, so this one here is Babiana mix. I've never grown them before. I got given these, so I just threw them in. They're fairly close because I didn't really have room at the time. And these are my tulips. I've only got a handful just in this section here where these tags are. And they're only just coming up now. They've taken absolutely forever to come up. I planted some broccoli in this one. They're only tiny, and I think something has been in here scratching around because there was more than that, and now I can't see them. Here, half of this
good girl. She's scratching with her head.
Is anemones, and half more ranunculus. Another bed of the calendula. And here, so this one was planted after that one I just showed you down here. But this one had cow manure, and that one over there had bought compost in it. So that's the difference. These are growing heaps faster and better. Came up, a lot more of them came up. Yeah, there's a few anemone along there. And the reason that these bits and pieces is because I kept just getting a few when I found them. Again, hoping to have white anemones and white ranunculus for the middle of August for my brother's wedding. And then, yeah, a few ranunculus down the centre here. And then I've got some, I'm not sure, I think some of these are bluebells. And a few other things, I don't know what they are, so we'll just have to wait and see. Worst thing about using cow manure is the weeds like it as well. So yeah, that's what we got going on here. Hopefully it'll be nice and clean at some point. I've got stuff sitting here everywhere. But yeah, this was meant to be for veggies mostly, and well, I've got all flowers in it, so it'll turn to veggies at some point, hopefully. Here's this cute little calf.